Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The money line. We are live, and it's UFC 288 time. We got a marquee matchup, and I'm joined by the notorious himself, Conor Mike Finch McGregor out here. What's up, Mike?
I was about to do the Conor impression, but I didn't know where to go. I'm good, man. Just was at BKFC over the weekend. So how dare I say it, but I still haven't watched the fights. Don't you guys dare spoil a freaking pick for me, because I was working my ass off all weekend in Denver, Colorado. And what an event Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships had. All those interviews will be dropping this week. They're still editing that shit. That's how busy everybody's been over at BKFC. And, dude, I saw Kamaru Usman, Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Derek Brunson. I mean, I could go on all day. It was a star-studded event, and it was very, very cool to work, man. Super fun. My first ever bare knuckle fist fights live. They did not disappoint.
How was the seats that you got, bro?
I was running around backstage most of the day, so I did go ringside for the co-main and the main. So for the co-main and the main, I was maybe 15 feet from McGregor to his left. So I was at a nice spot. But no, most of the night I'm running around backstage. I was getting the behind-the-scenes footage I usually did for Bellator, and then now I'm just doing the on-camera interviews as much as I can. So on-camera interviews with everybody. I mean, Mike Perry's coming out very soon. I saw it was being edited today. You guys will see those soon.
The BKFC era now starts for Mike Finch, and first time there, look at him. He's on the fucking camera. He's doing his thing. That's why Bare Knuckles the spot, bro. They do right by the people that are associated with them, bro. Even with me, they let me use the audio and do a radio fight companion. Like, come on now. They bring you out and they're giving you that shot. That's why I fuck with Bare Knuckles so hard, is because they're giving you the shot, all of us, the shine. And honestly, they got the fucking top product on the market right now. And there's word on the street that Bare Knuckle is going to be not just on streaming. It's going to be on a mainstream network. I don't know the network. I have no details on that, but I saw it on Twitter, and I'm fucking ready to see BKFC every Friday night on mainstream television. I think that it could be one of the biggest sports, period.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Conor McGregor was being sincere when he said, that he loves the storytelling and he really believes in the sport. I think that, Eddie Alvarez was being sincere when he said he thinks this could be the biggest thing. This could be as big or bigger than MMA. That's a big statement to all you MMA fans. I know, obviously, MMA is much larger than Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, but Bare Knuckle's a baby. I mean, compare this to like Power Slap or whatever the hell else they got going on. There's no comparison here. BKFC has the potential to really be taken seriously at a very high level. And if you go to a live event like I just did, you will see how damn entertaining it is. So super excited. And yes, I hope they do the TV deal. And a couple funny comments. Somebody expected, they put out odds -500, AJ with shades, and then John Cannon, Mike with the shades, keeping us on our toes. Yes, you got that. And Dub Smasher, these are Boulder, Colorado shades. Thank you for checking my Instagram, brother.
Let's go. That's fucking dope, man. Yeah, I'm big into bare knuckle. I think you'll agree with me, Mike, because you were a fan of MMA when it was first really starting to pop off, and it was people loved the dog fight, the scraps. Now we got into a level in MMA where obviously there's a game plan to winning these fights. Certain styles, you're going to use control time. You're going to do slight damage from here, take advantage of certain rule sets. With bare knuckle, it's like, besides throwing punches, you got to clinch. You can't really take advantage of anything. There's no break in the action. You look, Mike Alvarado, 40-5 pro boxer, tries that peekaboo style. He's getting ripped apart. It's a sport that you're so vulnerable in, and one shot changes everything. I fucking love it, bro. It has that unique feel of the fight game that I don't think anything's like right now. It's the one of one.
It's the one of one, and it's just in its infancy. Like, people are still learning the sport. You know, people have all types of different ideas of what to expect, and the guys who are doing bare knuckle have so much of an advantage when you fight somebody who's coming in for the first time. You could see it on Luke Rockhold's face when his teeth start getting bashed into his mouth. It is a whole different beast, and you know, you have to respect the people who are good at it. Juggernaut Lorenzo Hunt was there. I got to interview him twice, and he also interrupted Chris Camosi's interview. Just seeing people who get really good at bare knuckle, you could tell there's a lot of room to grow. I think the best bare knuckle fighters ever are in the years ahead of us. Sort of, you know, we're in those infancy stages. Like, how would Ken Shamrock do against Khamzat Chimaev? Ridiculous matchup. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The sport has evolved so much. We're right there with BKFC, where all the best BKFC fighters are to come.
Yes, agreed, bro. It's on the fucking come up, and I'm glad to be a part of something special, man.
Yeah,
Something
man. We host
exciting.
the BK Bets show. So
That's it.
first
I hyped
thing,
the
by the
fuck
way,
out of it.
when I went to weigh-ins, first thing they said, bare knuckle bets show. So there you go.
Oh shit!
We're
Who
out
said
there,
that to you?
AJ.
Who said that to you?
And I asked him his name too.
Fan?
I'm fucking up his name now. Fan, yeah.
No, that's dope, bro. Listen, that's sick, bro. It's good to
He
know
told me his
that the
name.
BK bets got the fan base.
Yeah, 100%. I always
That's
go
it.
follow people on Instagram when I
Let's
see
go.
them live. So you're ever at a live show, come say hi.
Yes.
Certainly a good live show to go to. AJ, did you enjoy Mike Perry versus Luke Rockhold? Did you
Yes.
enjoy Eddie Alvarez versus Chad Mendez?
Oh my
Even that
God.
Ben Rothwell fight was insane.
Holy shit. Ben Rothwell, absolute fucking dog, brings the fire. Great clinch work. I love that style that he's employing in bare knuckle. Then fucking Alvarez and Chad Mendez was just back and forth chaos throughout the whole thing. Then looking forward to the main event. Luke Rockhold early on was dangerous. He's a sniper. He's got some power, but ultimately, we've talked about this in bare knuckle when we do our breakdowns for BKFC, bro. The pain of the fucking punches coming in when you're bleeding. There's nothing like that shit. And even Luke Rockhold, the former champ, he started turning his back. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm good. Lip is sliced in half. Tooth is fucking crushed. Welcome to BKFC, bro. And Mike Perry, he thrives in it. I do think that Mike Perry really is like a street fighter, bro. He grew up street fighting, and you can tell that like he's cool with the bare knuckle fist, bro. It's insane. It's crazy how different it is when you take the gloves off. It's just a wild sport, man. And I just think it's got so much potential. I can't wait for more.
100%. And Mike Perry was like stronger than ever. He was real confident coming forward in that fight. But when you stand there ringside, I could really see sort of what he was doing. It's all about cutting off the space. He made Luke Rockhold so uncomfortable in that ring. You know, it wasn't that he was a better technical boxer. It wasn't that, you know, Luke Rockhold was just uncomfortable in that ring. He had nowhere to go. It's a hard place to try to utilize your range. And it would take a very skilled fighter to be able to do that. And yeah, like you said with the pro boxer Mike Alvarado, who was beaten earlier in the day, that it is very tough to come in there and just try to technically have a boxing match with somebody. When you get punched in the face with that bare knuckle, it changes everything. Luke Rockhold was saying beforehand, I am the toughest guy. I'm the toughest. Nobody's tougher than me. Mike Perry's the toughest guy. He's the perfect fighter for bare knuckle fighting championships.
Yes. So fucking dope, man. Hopefully him and McGregor happens. Listen, BKFC brought the fire, and I'm still riding high off, a pinnacle event for them. Ultimately, UFC was also on. Song Yudong got it done. We both hit on the underdog lock, Cody Durden. So hopefully you guys cashed with us. That was fucking tremendous. I'm looking to bring that fire again this week. So I'm hinting to you guys what it's going to be. You'll find out real soon. Mike, you ready to start breaking this thing down?
Let's break this thing down.
Let's break it down, bro. First fight of the night, we got Willie Cat Daniel Santos versus Johnny Munoz Jr. So for me, Mike Finch, I am a fan of Willie Cat Daniel Santos, and I really feel like Johnny Munoz Jr. is a decent fighter, but ultimately doesn't have the same danger on the feet, and he's not like this beastly wrestler where I see him controlling Santos throughout. I feel like Santos could hurt a Munoz Jr. I feel like he's got the jits to sub him, and I think he has the striking skill set to lay him clean. I'm thinking a Santos inside of the distance, call, betting wise, if you're looking to prop it. But ultimately, I think Willie Cat, Daniel Santos, I think he might get a knockout win in this fight. I've been believing in him since his debut, even when it cost me early on. I believe in him more now than ever after getting a win the last time out. So Give me Willie Cat, Mike Finch.
Yeah, Castaneda almost knocked him out, if you
He
remember.
did. Castaneda's savage too.
Yeah, Castaneda kicked him in the head and then hurt him to the body as well. And what happened though? He was able to Santos was able to weather that storm, come back and win that fight. He got that Thai plum knockout, boom, Muay Thai style. And I believe in his striking. I do think he's a better striker than Johnny Munoz. Johnny Munoz has a nice stance though, stays relatively safe, and then decent takedowns and a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's an IBJJF champion. He has a nice rear naked strangle. I mean, I think it's a good fight. I think Munoz is in this fight, but Santos should be the better striker. I could see him winning 2 out of 3 rounds, maybe a decision for Santos.
Willie Cat, though, the win for us both starting the night off. And the line is going wide towards Willie Cat. It was a lot closer earlier on, especially yesterday when I did my breakdown. Willie Cat now is at minus 185. Munoz Jr. sitting at plus 160. So Santos, the pick for both of us, but he is a fair-sized favorite. Now, looking at method of victory here, Santos to win, as I said, inside distance side is plus 135. Mike Lean in the decision side, that's upwards of plus 345. Let's see. Santos knockout plus 225. Santos sub plus 1100. I don't really love the prop side. Santos is also not a great money line bet. I like the dog money. This is not dog money. Maybe it's a parlay piece, but at minus 180, I'm not going to say these guys are low level. They're, obviously not the top tier in MMA, but they're riskier bets because ultimately, like you said, Munoz Jr. is still an accomplished guy in combat, good grappling base. Willie Cat Santos was hurt bad against Castaneda. So now my favorite money line attack. And if the odds were better, maybe I'd be all over that inside distance, but at plus 135, I think I'm chilling on this fight, but ultimately picking Willie Cat, and maybe I'll change my mind later in the week.
I was mentioning he got hurt by Castaneda as a positive because what I'm saying is the dude can weather a storm. He was wobbly and he was able to come back, boom, hit to the body. He didn't go out like Ryan Garcia. He fucking sit down on his mouthpiece, figured it out. No, Ryan Garcia apparently had a rib injury coming into the fight. All love to Golden Boy. That's not
Mike's
what I'm
got
saying.
the shades on and he's bringing the
not
fire,
what I'm
bro.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. Then I want to be respectful, but another thing I do see is that when Santos is on his back, his guard recovery is excellent. So if you're picking Munoz, you'd want to think that Munoz Jr. could potentially submit him. Dude, I'm not seeing that. That guard recovery was beautiful by Santos. So I think Santos is competent enough everywhere else to keep it on the feet, and then on the feet, dude, he's tremendous. I think he could definitely get 2 out of 3 rounds here. He could knock him out. It's just a tall order.
Agreed. I want to bring up this comment because I like this one, man. Paul Hope Smith. And BKFC, there's nowhere to hide. AJ, you can see your passion for combat sport and the way you talk about the sport. And that's what brings the people back. Much love, Paul Hope Smith. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you can feel the energy that I have towards combat, bro. Fuck yeah. Love you, buddy. Thank you, my man.
Since Paul brings up BKFC, there's one thing I forgot to mention. I keep hearing that Conor McGregor was paid to be there. You guys are out of your mind. I could tell you for a fact, I know Conor McGregor was not paid to be there. I was talking to Oscar from Mac Life. He does all the interviews for Mac Life. And we were talking at weigh-ins, and that's when he first told me, he's like, dude, McGregor might fly out. He wants to see Beck Rawlings, and he wants to see, obviously, Mendez fight Eddie Alvarez. Turned out to be Chad Mendez's retirement fight. So, Conor wanted to come out to see these fights. That's why he was there. And I've actually never seen Conor in person before, AJ, so that was pretty cool.
That's sick, bro. Did you end up talking to him at all?
Not really. He acknowledged my camera. That's all. Everybody wanted to talk to McGregor. I was not going to get in line.
No, I get it. It's going to be a long wait to talk to the fucking Mystic Mac.
I could have grabbed him backstage. He was exiting, but at the same time, Mike Perry was walking out. I ended up sticking with Perry. I did the video of Perry. I was working, boys.
You were working, bro. Perry deserves their shine, bro. He got the big win. Let's keep running up the card. Mike Finch, tremendous work at Bare Knuckle. I'll tell you 100 times, brother.
Thank you so much, man. You complimented my interviews right away. Yes. That meant a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, brother. Of course. Claudio Ribeiro versus Joseph Ugly Man Holmes. Claudio Ribeiro has so much fucking punching power that I think Joseph Holmes is in trouble here. Now, I know Holmes actually has sneaky ground skills, but doesn't have a lot of physical strength or great wrestling. So now I'm like, how is he going to be getting Ribeiro to the ground? He doesn't have these great takedowns. He's not going to be throwing around and bully him. I think he's forced into striking. I watched Joseph Holmes strike, and I see skills. He's not a bad fighter, but you got powerhouse on the other side. Joseph Holmes is going to have to out kickbox him for 3 rounds. It's a tall task when you got a guy with all 10 of his wins by knockout. Give me the knockout artist. I'm going Ribeiro by KO in this one, Finch, man.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying. Ribeiro throws punches from his grandma's house. I mean, it's just a different style than Holmes. Ribeiro, when he turns his hips into something, he's hitting home runs. Holmes is much more of a first base type of guy, so I could see Ribeiro knocking him out. Yeah, just the way they match up, dude. One of those from grandma's house. I don't know how long that'll work, how high up in the division. He seems a little counterable in this matchup, though. Even if he does get countered, Holmes tries to come and finish him. He might run into something, dude. Even if Holmes is winning this fight, Holmes is probably better at jiu-jitsu. He's probably got some places he can win this fight, but that power on Ribeiro is real. I'll double up with you, man. Knockout.
Knockout win, and we got to shout out our guy Ali Point VTV. Waldo and Josh Quinlan left me frozen like Elsa. I'm sorry that happened, brother. Waldo and Quinlan both took Elskis, but ultimately Cody Durden was victorious. Padilla was victorious. McGee was victorious on the prelims on short notice. So some big dogs did come through for us, but yeah, man, Waldo and Quinlan took us out. Ali Point VTV, thank you for the 199, homie. We appreciate the fuck out of you, man. We appreciate the fuck out of you. Yeah, bro. Ribeiro, the pick for both of us. We're on the same side. We're thinking it right, in my opinion. -175. Ribeiro around +160 for Joseph Holmes. Let's see. Ribeiro to win by knockout -135. I'm not playing the KO.
No.
Maybe I would consider a Ribeiro piece to the parlay because of the knockout power. But ultimately, there's no KO prop that I'm touching here. It's just unfortunate. I wish the line was better. If it was +170, I'd be like, oh, fuck yes. But at -135, I'm not laying that down on it.
So what, -210 is what I'm seeing. Is that what you said?
Line that I'm seeing available at BetOnline is -175. So Ribeiro's not an awful tag.
Yeah, that's it then. Moneyline would be
play. Moneyline would be it. If you're throwing down Moneyline, I like parlay piece potentially with Ribeiro, and we'll talk about more about those parlays towards the end. Let's keep running up the card, Mike Finch. Next fight on it, we got prospect on the come up here, taking on veteran of the game. It's Rafael Estevam versus Zhumagulov. Looking at this fight right now, Estevam has top tier grappling skills from what I see, but you know what I love about him is they don't punch you in the face as he's out grappling you. I like that style. Looking at Zhumagulov, I mean, multiple losses in a row, but it's not like he looks horrible in all of his fights. I just feel as though you got to go with the 11-0 prospect. Ultimately, I rarely fade the OV, Mike Finch, but Zhumagulov, he's in that OV fade zone. Very rare for me. Not telling you to go bet the house on Estevam because you're betting against an OV, regardless if he's from Kazakhstan and not Dagestan. Still a factor. The OV in the last name ups his power percentage by like 15% minimum, regardless of where he's from. I think Estevam, though, should pull this one off, but like in a crazy world, we live in it. So I could see somehow Zhumagulov stealing a split decision on him or some crazy shit, but I'm not going to go bet on a guy that's lost 4 of his last 5 fights. So give me Estevam to win, but it's not one of those like, yeah, go out and bet everything on it picks.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And I mean, being his UFC debut, 1-0 on Dana White's Contender Series, obviously, but his UFC debut, you might have those jitters a little bit. And Zhumagulov, clearly a UFC veteran at this point, he's fought a lot of guys now. He's lost to a lot of guys, but he's fought a lot of guys. I was looking at Estevam's old fights because that's what I could get to. And he was throwing like a weird cross. He had some stuff where he was vulnerable, but that was old. I was trying to watch his last couple fights, and my UFC Fight Pass was fucking up. So I was hitting up support on UFC Fight Pass, and we're going back and forth all day. Couldn't watch his fucking fights. They're like, clear your browser. AJ, I hate tech. I hate this shit.
The UFC Fight Pass sometimes is so weird. They have this glitch where it says error.
Error occurred.
Every time error occurs, if it's a recent fight from the past, 9 months, error occurs. You got to use ESPN Plus. For Estevam, he's over in LFA, so I actually had to dig him up through a different last name, and that's how I found him. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Well, I should have texted AJ clearly,
Good,
so I
brother.
wasn't able to study properly. No, I'll go with the newcomer.
Yeah. Good
But
pick.
you know, there's always this, and you'll see this a couple times in this card. This is the first of a couple of these where it's the UFC veteran versus the UFC newcomer. It's a real thing to consider. UFC jitters, you know, first UFC performance. Some people shine, some people don't. Always something to consider, and maybe you know, a factor that would make you bet less if you were considering on betting on Estevam. AJ and I again agree. Estevam, I'll go decision.
Decision win, Estevam. Yeah. Minus 180, money line. Zhumagulov plus 160. You know, it's like these first few fights, it's these first four, really, whatever, three that we've talked about so far. It's these, you know, competitive fights with favorites. So the lines are not, you know, all that juicy as far as betting. And if now I'm throwing on a debuting guy in Estevam, yeah, he should win. But am I laying it down at minus 180? Probably not. I don't want to play the over because Estevam is a very good grappler and there's a chance that he gets a finish, though Zhumagulov incredibly hard to finish. Looking at the over 2.5, I'll read it off. It's minus 180. If you had to pick between the two, you told me you have to give me a bet for this fight, Estevam money line, but not feeling it personally too much.
Yeah, no, it was a good point though. Estevam's best chance of finishing the fight, probably submission.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that
He
if he
good
was able,
taking the back.
he's nasty on that. I just wonder Zhumagulov, though, short, stocky guy, good ground skills too. I feel like he'd be hard to lock it up on. That's more what my mindset is, man. So we're going Estevam decision, brother.
Yeah, Estevam decision because he'll be stuck on the feet a little too much. But yeah, he could potentially get a rear naked strangle. So money line would be something to look at, although the odds aren't the greatest thing we've ever seen.
They are not. But the next fight is interesting, okay? We got a dangerous Dagestani. Ikram Aliskerov versus Phil Hawes, Mike Finch. Aliskerov's lone loss, who's it against? Chimaev flatlines him with the uppercut. But this is top tier grappling skill, top tier sambo wrestling, etc. And now he's in the UFC. And they throw him Phil Hawes, who, you know what, is a very freak athlete talent, has good wrestling too, fast hands, but ultimately got his knee fucked up badly last time out, but Delidze, and then he got slept. He's taken several losses throughout. He's been submitted in the past. I'll tell you something. Nasruddin Imavov is a name that comes to mind. Phil Hawes has a win over the OV, over the Dagestani Nasruddin Imavov. You're not going to get 2 wins over that OV. Ikram Aliskerov is going to beat him. That would be crazy. It's not possible, man. It's not possible. Aliskerov is going to probably win. I'm actually early. Like, as I was doing my prediction video, I was like, oh, I'm thinking decision. You know what? No, I think there's actually a chance that Aliskerov subs him here. So I'm going Aliskerov. I'm going to say submission. I'm going to reach for the stars here. But ultimately, you know, money line is better.
3 out of his last 4 wins are by Kimura. You think he's going to Kimura Phil Hawes?
Dude, how badass would that be?
That'd be crazy.
I guess I Phil Hawes, have we seen him put in a Kimura in an MMA fight? I can't think of any.
No, Phil Hawes is so physically strong. He's a junior college national champion wrestler from, I believe, Iowa. I mean, he's you know, when that Duran win victory, you know, he shows his wrestling. Like he is definitely going to be hard to grapple with. And both of these guys are 2 guys who struggled with people on the feet. It was funny when you were saying the OV thing with Hawes. I thought you were going to go the other way and say, oh, he's got their number. Because I kind of see this as a tough matchup for Aliskerov and Aliskerov, you know, the one loss to Khamzat Chimaev that he has with the uppercut, which was a ridiculous KO. He actually wrestled with Khamzat really well in that fight. You know, Khamzat could not really take him down. One moment he put his hands on the mat and he was popped right back up. And you all know how good Khamzat Chimaev is at wrestling. So that showed me that if anything, Aliskerov is the better wrestler, but will he be better enough to smash Phil Hawes? Phil Hawes is kind of a tough test for him. And then if they're stuck on the feet, I don't know. They've both kind of had some issues there. Phil Hawes, obviously Roman Delidze and Julian Marquez knocked him out, right? But this will be a close fight. I think this will be a close fight, man. I'll stick with the OV. I feel like I keep siding with you. I'll stick with the OV, but this is a no bet for me because Hawes is a tough matchup for him. If he gets on top of Hawes, he'll fuck him up. I think it'll be hard to get there.
Odds for the fight, of course, Aliskerov favorite, minus 215. Hawes plus 185.
15.
Aliskerov by sub is plus 475. It's a wide prop, but, you know, I don't think an awful play. Something to maybe look at, just looking for a sub prop. Money line, attack straight would not be a play for me, but potentially I will throw OV in a parlay because I do have faith in the name, bro. The OV stands strong, bro.
I have faith in the wrestling ability. You know, I see the way he was using the clinch against Hamzat. I see the way he drags guys to the ground, but he's not fast. He's not athletic. So it's the striking that concerns me. You know, if Hawes is going to turn a corner with his striking, this is the fight.
Yes.
You know, I'm kind of surprised to hear those odds because again, Aliskerov making his, you know, he's very young in the UFC terms. He's what, it's his debut, right?
Debut,
UFC
bro. Debut. He fought on Contender.
So Hawes has been there, done that. That experience is real, man. You know, if somebody was going Hawes, I wouldn't tell him not to.
No.
I think it'll be a good fight.
Yeah. Agreed, brother. Agreed. I think dope fight. I'm going Aliskerov as is Finch. Fucking find out what Dagestan brings here with this middleweight. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. The heavyweights going after it. It's Parker Porter versus Braxton Smith. Listen, I'm going to go a Braxton Smith knockout win. Parker Porter was badly laid out in his last one against Justin Tafa, who, in my opinion, fairly one-dimensional based striking style. Very entertaining. Style that I like. Experience in the UFC. Difference. Braxton Smith does not have the UFC experience, which 100% could cost him. But I'm looking at it like this. Parker Porter, when's the last time he fought? 2 months ago, and he got flatline KO'd. And now you're jumping back in with a guy who has that type of devastating knockout power. He's got a fucking high kick win. This guy's thick as hell at 5'11" with athleticism, explosiveness. Two freight trains colliding. Parker Porter, in my opinion, could win this fight if he survives an early onslaught, but I'm just concerned that he can't. He's going to be forced into the fight. So now he's going to look to mix in takedowns. Nothing has showed me Braxton Smith doesn't have takedown defense. Might not be the best grappler on the planet, but he's a strong force to be reckoned with. So I got to go with the newcomer. I don't like a quick turnaround after a KO loss at all and then throw you out there against another power puncher. I think Braxton Smith's got the goods, man. I'm going KO win, and I like the style that he brings, and he seems like a cool dude, too. I listened to some interviews.
Yeah, I did the same, man. Yeah, and he's certainly entertaining. He certainly puts people the fuck out. He's got a big left hook, big overhand right, head kicks, as you mentioned, which you would not expect from this brick shit house of a human. You know, he's throwing his legs up there high. Actually, his takedown defense looked good against lesser competition. And let's be honest, Porky Porter is what, 13-8? Like, you know, he's right. A little too dangerously close to like a 50-50. The thing that I don't like about Braxton is he hasn't really fought anybody. Like, he's only been in first round fights. He knocks everybody out in the first round, which is great. His one loss as a pro is actually back in 2014. So since, you know, last year, which is when he really started going, he's just knocked everybody out in the first round, just rattled off fights. So I like that he's kind of in season. You know, he's got a lot of momentum. But what if Porky Porter survives that first round? How much is it going to take for this guy to gas? Does Braxton Smith have good energy management? I'm going to guess no. So Braxton Smith knockout is a great play because if Braxton Smith does win, that's how he gets it done. I've never seen him even make it to the second round. So who knows what he ends up looking like? You know, it reminds me of like Shane Carwin at heavyweight. Sure enough, as soon as Shane Carwin did get a little tired, Brock Lesnar finished him, you know? So it's like, you know, these first round fighters are sort of, you know, extremely dangerous. And then by the third round, you could turn a lion into a pussycat. So I don't know what he'll look like tired, AJ. And that would be my only concern here is that Porky Porter, he's been there and done that. Now, you brought up a good point. Porky Porter just got laid out by Tafa. This dude hits just as hard. We got to go with him. But just laying out some caution cones there. If you're going to go with him, you might consider taking more of a risk and betting that KO. But AJ's about to tell me, I'm sure that the KO is not much better odds, is it?
Listen, the money line is where the juice is at, though. Plus 155 for Braxton Smith as an underdog. Pretty solid. Knockout props not bad either at plus 175.
Yeah, that's
I feel
not
as though
difference, though.
That's
Money
not
line.
huge. I'm money lining that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're thinking, oh, what about Braxton Smith first round knockout? Gets a little better at plus 300, but you're looking to really snipe it out. And I do think he gets a first round KO, but ultimately, what if he gets it in the second? You're kicking yourself. So sometimes, you know, don't be greedy. Just take your plus whatever, 150, plus 140 range. and play the money line. I like money line, Braxton Smith. The pick is knockout. The call is first round. But betting wise, most likelihood of success is going to be just money line dog attack here. That's what I'm thinking. Give me the money line.
Yeah, man. And
I'm playing it for sure. 100%.
Yeah. Well, the money line is so close to the KO that you could just discard what I said. Of course, you got to go with him. And then I didn't quite realize he was that much of an underdog. So plus 155. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Plus
Dude.
155.
That might end up at the end of the show here. We'll see. I like those odds. I definitely do. Yeah. And if Braxton Smith lays anything on him, he'll put him out.
Agreed. Let's go, baby. Braxton Smith
on the dog.
Dog money for Mike Finch and I both. Oof. Let's get it. Let's keep running. Next fight. We got Marina Rodriguez and Virna Jandiroba. Listen, Jandiroba's got nasty grappling, but ultimately the matchups that you can look at and compare, Rodriguez has dominated competition that Jandiroba had competitive matchups with. I think Marina Rodriguez is en route to a clean, unanimous decision. She's got better striking, quality grappling defense. Jandiroba has really good ground skills. She's tough. I don't feel like her striking is awful, though it's not, her forte. Rodriguez is going to land way more on the feet, and I don't see her getting bullied on the ground. So to me, it's Marina Rodriguez to win. Like a women's fight, fair confidence on Rodriguez. And I know people say, oh, it's a women's fight, just bet the dog. Listen, this is a pay-per-view event. This is a numbered card. Got to remember, this is a little different, I feel like, with this matchup here. The pick has got to be Rodriguez. I'm not just going to go dog chasing on Virna for value. I think that Marina is going to get her hand raised.
Yeah, dude. Marina Rodriguez is so good at striking. Her Muay Thai is so clean. I really believe that she's going to score a lot on the feet. Now, Jandiroba, better on the ground. She's going to have to get her there. But Marina Rodriguez, pretty good takedown defense, too. I like the stylistic matchup here. And then Marina Rodriguez, just one of the most impressive women in the UFC when it comes to the striking. Jandiroba likes to drag women on the ground, and she's good in that top position. That's pretty much her only chance, I think, of winning this fight would be to drag her onto the floor. I don't see it happening. One of my more confident picks on the card, dude, Marina Rodriguez, very impressive striker.
Very, very impressive, man. She's good as fuck, in my opinion. So love the matchup for her here. I think she's en route to a clean win. We thinking decision too, Mike?
Ooh, could she get her out of there? Yes, but because Jandiroba is better on the ground, I think even if she drops her, she'll be a little cautious on following up. For that reason, yes, decision.
I think better play is just money line as far as everything, because prop side of things, yes, you can get value on decision. Mike Finch and I both are on a decision win. It sits at plus 125 for Rodriguez, but the money line is minus 125. Why am I going to risk it? Minus 125 money line, Marina Rodriguez, Jandiroba, ever so slight as the dog at plus 105. I like the favorite. I like minus 125. Playable. Very playable right here. Even Stevens.
Patrick giving her hell in the comments. Holy shit, Patrick.
Oh,
jeez,
shit.
Bro. Jeez, bro.
Alien. Oh, shit.
AJ ain't even going to pull it up.
I can't hurt Jandiroba like that.
I like Jandiroba, and I do think her UFC experience is real. I mean, it definitely matters. But Marina Rodriguez is going to be a little faster and way sharper with the striking. She uses her legs really well. She'll even outbox her too, dude. I think she'll put on a striking clinic using all of her weapons. In Muay Thai they call it the art of 8 limbs. Your hands, your elbows, your knees, and then your shins. I think she'll use all those weapons to get that decision.
Yeah, I think I agree, man. Rodriguez is nasty with all 8. So go Rodriguez to win. And the money line ain't bad. It's a favorite, but close money. I think she gets it. Oh, shit. Heavy hitter in this one. Khaos Williams taking on somebody who's actually a really interesting prospect in Rolando Bedoya. Yeah. But this is not a debut that you want. For your first fight in the UFC, you're going to fight Khaos Williams, a guy who's now seasoned in the game, has been in there against pretty good competition. I mean, we look at the last 5, right? It starts off with a quick knockout of Alex Morono. He beats Abdul Razak Al Hassan by knockout, loses to Michel Pereira, who's fighting against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, beats Matt Selmersberger in striking, which is his strong suit, knocks out Miguel Bieza, and then split decision loss to Randy Brown, where he dropped him multiple times. Bedoya is a good fighter from the Peru, Central/South America circuit, does well over there, but he's never faced a Khaos Williams before. He's never fought someone with this type of power, athleticism, and experience. I got to say, I think Khaos Williams is going to knock him out, but Bedoya is a good fighter. He's 25. He's so young in the game. This is just, in my opinion, for a debut, a little bit crazy. Too big of a jump. This is massive.
Well said, and that's exactly right. For a UFC debut, you don't want to see somebody with the power, the explosiveness of a Khaos Williams. You know, Bedoya does have nice kicks. I mean, his Muay Thai is nice. He's got that classic Muay Thai style. And one of the problems with that Muay Thai style is the head movement isn't really there. You know, he doesn't have that boxing ability. You want to be able to slip and weave at Khaos Williams. I always tell my students, I say, like, you know, when you block, that's like having a seatbelt on in your car. You don't want to have to use the seatbelt. The idea is to never have to use it, right? If somebody slams on the brakes in front of you, would you rather swerve to get out of the way or rear end them because you have a seatbelt on? Right. So in the same thing with striking, it's like if you see a shot coming, it's better to weave, pull, slip, instead of stand there and sort of block. And I think that Muay Thai style will cost him against Khaos Williams. Khaos Williams comes in there with some chaotic strikes. Khaos Williams knockout.
Yeah, Khaos Williams knockout, bro. I'm with you 100%. I think that if Bedoya won, it would be actually kind of crazy. He's plus 250 as a dog, and I think that makes sense. Khaos, a minus 300 favorite, strong confidence. Williams by KO is minus 135, a little bit better. I think Bedoya is going to get slept here unless he's got the hardest chin of all time and he just eats everything. But anybody that fights Khaos Williams is in, you know, for hell. If he lands one shot, it can end you. I mean, Alex Morono is a good striker. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, good striker. I mean, you look at the fights with the Matt Selmersberger, even the loss last month, Randy Brown, he drops him twice, and Randy Brown is, you know, pretty nasty from range. Obviously, Jack Della Maddalena laid him out, but Jack Della is that next up guy. But the way I think is in trouble, man. 25, you're biting off more than you can chew here with Khaos Williams. We're going to Khaos KO.
Khaos KO. Khaos bounces back. And dude, you know what? The experience here is really going to matter. I think Khaos is going to be super comfortable, and I think Bedoya is a little young. It's not his time yet.
Yeah, agreed. Khaos Williams for the win. Let's keep running up the card. We got Devin Clark versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. Listen, Kennedy Nzechukwu, in my opinion, is consistently improving. Devin Clark is a solid fighter, but in my opinion, we've seen it. The level where he's at, obviously he can get a little better from there. And Nzechukwu seems so raw early on, but is still getting these freakish wins against better fighters. And then last time out, he beat Iwan Kutelaba, which is kind of crazy to think about because Kutelaba was like that scary motherfucker at one point. And Nzechukwu, people wrote him off, me included. And now he throws Devin Clark in the mix. And Devin Clark is a guy that can wrestle, pressure style, but he's 6 feet tall versus a guy 6'5". Do I want to be trying to fucking take down this giant all night? Maybe he can do it early, but the fatigue is going to set in. And Nzechukwu can bring a knee right up the center, bringing it halfway up his waist. It's already hitting Devin Clark in the face, bro. I'm going with Nzechukwu to knock him out, man. I'm thinking TKO. He'll hurt him with something and then ground and pound. I got to go Nzechukwu, man. I got to ride with him.
That's a real risk that Devin Clark is going to take. You know, we've seen Devin Clark get hit with big shots, and Nzechukwu could definitely put anybody away. He's dangerous with his legs, dangerous with his hands. Devin Clark should be able to out-wrestle this guy. I mean, Devin Clark has the chops, has the background, has the ability to finish those takedowns, run him into the fence, pull him up off of his feet, and dominate from the top position. That is a pathway for him. Am I going to trust him? Am I going to bet on him? Not necessarily, but finally, I'll be on the other side of you on this card. I do think Devin Clark's wrestling should be able to overwhelm the Nzechukwu. And if he's smart, which he doesn't always fight smart, but sometimes when he's smart, he should be able to hurt him on top too, man. He should be able to drop some ground and pound on him, sort of wear on him, and take away that explosive ability that's going to lend him to get a knockout. Could I see Nzechukwu like throw a knee and then a fucking hook and put him out? Yeah. But I'll take Devin Clark on a decision, man.
Devin Clark decision is something I respect, Mike Finch. Before we get to the odds, I got to shout out the people in the chat. Justin Mack throwing us the $5 super sticker, my guy. And then Sky High matches the energy with $4.99. Thank you, Sky High. We appreciate the donations. Y'all are tremendous. Justin Mack, bro. Y'all putting in the work. Thank you. Hey, thank you for supporting us. We appreciate you a ton, bro. We appreciate you a ton. Hell yeah. Let's get into the odds for this fight. And Mike, you have an underdog here. And it's pretty big plus money at plus 165. So Devin Clark maybe is something you're considering laying down on. I don't think you're nuts if you do. Minus 190 for Nzechukwu as the favorite. So dog sided. Hey, it's something there. Sky High will bring him up too. Much love, bro. Much love. Much love. Let's go, baby. Dude. I don't want to play Nzechukwu at minus 190, but I don't have the confidence Devin Clark, man. That's why I pick Nzechukwu, because I'm like, the Cutelaba fight worries me. MMA math is crazy because think of it. Devin Clark beat Dawoon Jung, clearly. Right. And then Ian Cutelaba beat Devin Clark, clearly. And Nzechukwu stops Ian Cutelaba. And it's just, it's a whole fucking Nzechukwu got crushed by Dawoon Jung. MMA math is bullshit. That's why I always say it's a coin flip fight. The odds, are in the favor of Nzechukwu. If you like the plus money side, I don't think you're crazy for playing Devin Clark. I'm not telling you guys I'm throwing everything on Nzechukwu. I mean, I'm looking at knockout prop for Nzechukwu plus 150. It doesn't really interest me all that much because I think there is a chance that he gets wrestled all night.
I think he's getting wrestled all night.
I respect it, Mike Finch. Listen, I think you should go that dog side. Even though I'm against you, I like plus money. And I was sitting on this one for a little while. It wasn't like a pick that just came to me. I had to really fucking sit, and I was analyzing them out. I'm like, thinking that you could catch him. So at the end of the day, I'm against you on the pick, but betting wise, value's on your side.
Yeah, Clark just has to be smart, AJ. If he's not like banging with Nzechukwu, like that'd be the stupidest thing ever, right? Just like disengage from the clinch and start banging, which sometimes Devin Clark does like to loop his shit a little too much. Just be patient, Devin. Be patient. Hit these takedowns from the top position, then open up, and he should be able to dominate this fight.
Fair. I respect it, bro. I respect it. I'm worried about the height difference too. That's something. The fucking
yeah. You know what? Actually, that rings a bell. I think you mentioned that in your last show.
Yeah.
With wrestling, you tied it together. You said he's gonna be hard to take down because he's so tall.
Tallness.
What the fuck are you talking about? Hard to take down because he's so tall. We
Against
were just saying how Volkanovski is hard to take down because he's so short.
It flips
somebody's tall, you can wrap those fucking legs up and rip them out from underneath them. A tall person has a lot more real estate on those legs to be able to get a hold of. It's actually a lot harder to get underneath like a Braxton, right? It's hard to pull his fucking legs out, but a double leg on the fence with Devin Clark, who's a good wrestler, much more physically strong, against those long skinny legs, he's ripping those things out like a fucking umbrella in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? The umbrella.
No, I get what you're saying, Mike, but last week we saw the opposite, bro. Quinlan couldn't get to Waters at all in the clinch, so I'm like, different style. I get it.
I just flew back from fucking BKFC.
Fair.
Let me watch those fights. Quit spoiling shit. And nobody's spoiling shit in the comments either.
All right, let's go. Mike Finch.
Although I know our locks hit, which is awesome. I'm on a 3 streak.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, Mike Finch going Devin Clark. I'm going Nzechukwu. We shall see on Saturday. Next fight on the card, we got the featured prelim of the night, which brings the fire. It's Drew Dober versus Matt Frevola. Listen, the steamroller is fun to watch, man, and I like his style. And then on the opposite side, exactly the same words about Drew Dober. But ultimately, we've seen Frevola chinned a few times, and he also, in my opinion, puts himself in that fucking fire. Drew Dober shines in the fire, takes a punch like very few, trains with the likes of a fucking Justin Gaethje. I think Drew Dober is going to end up knocking Frevola out, dude. Good fight, back and forth battle, but I think Drew Dober is getting his hand raised, man. I'm going Dober by KO.
Yeah, I like Dober by KO, but I think it's a fight, dude. It's a dog fight. I like Frevola, man. Frevola's definitely got good hands. I saw some vulnerabilities in Drew Dober when he fought Bobby Green, but Bobby Green's so much faster than these two. Bobby Green's faster than Frevola and Dober put together. So I do believe that, there's a potential here for Drew Dober to get caught too. Drew Dober, very hard to out-grapple, very hard to take down, and a guy, like you said, who's durable. So we'll stick with Drew Dober, but personally not something I'm betting on. And Sky High came back with the 10. Sky High. I'm going to get Sky High with you if you keep fucking paying us, bro. I'll buy something with it. Thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate it.
Steamroller, Frevola, Mike Finch. I had to say it in the chat, bro. Someone said steamroller with a Jersey accent. I'm sorry. I had to bring it up. Sky High. Much love to you, Sky High. Thank you. Bro, the pick skis for me is Drew Dober. I'm going Dober. You're on Dober too, right? Are you going
I'm on Dober too, but I hear MMA Jesus is coming in with the Matt via KO. MMA Jesus, shout out for the Eddie Alvarez pick. You did get us. You are right.
He did call it. I saw it.
He called it. But I believe I believe that Drew Dober will kind of weather that storm and be able to put him out. You know, they might bang it out a little bit. Drew Dober might be down a little bit like he was in that Bobby Green fight. Again, Bobby Green was getting to him. I'm like, oh, shit, I picked Drew Dober. Look at what's happening. Drew Dober knocks him out, you know? So I like the durability on Drew. It's too bad he has to use it so often. And Frevola is dangerous too. So personally, popcorn. Okay, I got like the low butter skinny pop bullshit popcorn my wife bought because she's trying to lose some weight. Fuck it, I'll be eating that watching this fight.
This is tremendous. Listen, $2 dono too from Sub-Zero, my guy kicking ass in Mortal Kombat. We appreciate you, bro. As we get to the betting odds between these two, the favorite is obviously the side of Drew Dober, -195 expected line, +175 from Matt Frevola. Dober by knockouts -150. It becomes unplayable. I think this fight could be an under 2.5, or a fight doesn't go the distance type of thing. You know, -180 under 2.5. I'm seeing here. That's playable. I think that's realistic because I do see a finish. But ultimately, who would get the finish? More likely, it's Dober getting the hand raised by finish. I just don't know if Frivola's got the stopping power to take a Dober out. He can knock out other guys, but Drew Dober's made out of something else, bro. He got the crimson chin, bro. I think Dober is going to finish him, but it's like, you know, the line is not great. The win by KO is -150. It's just, it's not good money. It's unfortunate, man.
Sub-Zero, what do you think? No, I agree. I think there are better bets on this card. Although a lot of the matchmaking is pretty good on this card. You know, I was having trouble picking my lock, and I'm on that 3 streak. I can't fuck it up. So, I'm gonna go Dober with you. I fear though it's because I'm a Dober fan. I mean, I should really try to dig in because yeah, Frivola's live.
Listen, I got to say right here, listen, you're right. I was giggling at the idea of Mike Perry versus McGregor until I saw him at the event and I said, no way, this is real shit. And that was pre-live stream. I said, no, I don't think McGregor's going to do it. Yeah. I remember in the chat when you brought this up, bro, it was in the live stream, I think on Tuesday last week. Holy shit. Holy shit. And then it comes to reality. Yeah, you called that, Atlas. So shout out to you for that. And I'm all in on it now. I just didn't think it was possible.
I leaked it to AJ. I texted AJ before McGregor came out that McGregor was coming. Did you give that out on your show when you were live?
They actually showed it on the broadcast as you sent that shit. It was like, boom, right there.
Oh, really? Son of a bitch. Okay, got you. Here I am trying to drop some insight in.
No, I know, because I was like, oh, shit, this is perfect if they didn't show it.
I had heard it weigh-ins. Yeah, I had heard it weigh-ins from Oscar, as I said. So, yeah. I mean, come on. That was awesome. And who would not want to see McGregor in bare knuckle fighting championships? It kind of works for his style, honestly.
Way better. Make that happen, please.
Some big old hands on him, dude.
2 thumbs up. Yes, please. Yes, please. Let's get to the main card, Mike Finch. It's a fucking scrap starting it off. Kron Gracie is back to defend the Gracie name versus Charles Jourdain. My pick is Kron Gracie, man. I think he's going to get a submission here. Listen, Charles Jourdain will overextend himself, go for heavy strikes, get a little bit reckless. He doesn't have those technical tools the same as a Cub Swanson, who gave Kron Gracie hell a long time ago. Yes, it's been years. Look at Kron Gracie before the loss to Cub Swanson. He ran through Alex Caceres in 2 minutes, who now is on a tremendous roll. He was killing people in Ryzen. I watched the Kron Gracie come up series, and I had a lot of faith in his UFC run. Seeing him leave the sport and take so much time off, I was ultimately disappointed because I always find it enjoyable to see a Gracie name in the UFC. Just, you know, kind of brings us back to the roots of combat sport with MMA, roots of MMA, grappling overall. I think that Kron Gracie comes in shape, motivated, which I do believe he's going to, has a serious advantage in the grappling. It's no doubt. Cub Swanson, people say, oh, but Cub fucked him up and he's a striker. You know, Cub Swanson and him had a grappling match that was very competitive. So ultimately, it's not like Kron Gracie was even able to bully the level of jiu-jitsu that Cub Swanson brings on the ground. Whereas I don't think Jourdain has those same defensive capabilities. I think Charles Jourdain stylistically is in trouble. I think Kron Gracie is coming back after a long layoff, gets a submission win. And maybe he retires after the fight and goes out like a fucking Gracie. You know what I'm saying? At New Jersey, bro. It's kind of like the mecca of the Gracies, man.
Look, Shane Burgos was taking the back of Charles Jourdain. You don't want Kron Gracie on your back. Kron Gracie is one of the best no-gi grapplers in the world. If you want proof of that, type in Gary Tonin versus Kron Gracie. I believe Stuart Cooper Films made a video on that, which was just incredible, man. And I am definitely going to be interested in seeing what Kron looks like after taking some time out. Who's he been working with? I know he's obviously put a lot of work in with the Diaz brothers and whatnot, but I want to dig into that story a little bit. Is he working on that striking? Because AJ, the biggest hole in his game, obviously, is when he's standing at distance with somebody. Anytime he has a hold of somebody, anytime they're grappling, you're in Kron Gracie's world. His arm bars, his triangles, his rear naked strangle. He's got a lot of weapons, and he uses them to A+ level effect. I mean, this is one of the best grapplers in the world. Charles Jourdain is a good striker. So it's a huge mismatch on the feet, and every round starts on the feet. So I'm having trouble picking Kron here when he has to finish him in that 5 minutes. Otherwise, he's back on the feet and it has to get another takedown. How easy is it to get on the back of Charles Jourdain? How easy is it to drag Charles Jourdain on the ground? That ends up being my question here. And you're going to hate it, but I'm going to go Charles Jourdain. I'm going to go Charles Jourdain because Charles Jourdain is the guy who has all skills. He probably has enough jiu-jitsu to survive a little bit. And then on the feet, I mean, Kron has a lot to work on, dude. You've said it yourself. Like, Kron Gracie has some of the worst striking in the UFC.
Yeah. I'm not impressed by his stand-up at all. But he's got a chin on him. He takes a good punch. He's tough. He likes to fight. He's a tough dude. And he's going to get hit. I've got to bring up Sky High again, who throws another $9.99. Nice production you're doing here. Sky High, the most generous man in the chat. My guy. Holy fuck. We appreciate you a ton, brother.
Dude, we're getting Sky High with these winnings. Thank you so much, Sky High. I appreciate it.
My guy. Sky High. Much love to you. Let's bring the lines up and let's talk about this matchup, man. All right, looking at the odds, Kron Gracie plus 165, Charles Jourdain minus 190 at plus 165. I like the Kron Gracie side. I think it's, good plus money. I also think there's a real chance he does win by sub, which is upwards of plus 250. I like that dog side. Jourdain at minus 190. Mike, you picking him by a decision, or you think he's knocking Kron out?
He could knock Kron out with a knee to the face or something, dude. He could knock Kron out with a head kick. He could hurt him and finish with his hands. I'm rooting for Kron Gracie. This is hard for me to pick against Kron Gracie. I mean, Kron Gracie, you brought up that he has some very, very valuable wins. Alex Caceres, right?
Yeah, it's huge.
He's capable of beating Charles Jourdain. So if you guys are going with, especially because Kron's the dog, right?
Yeah, big dog.
So yeah, if you want to rock with him as a dog, you guys aren't crazy for that. But the lack of striking, it's something I need to see. I need to see his striking before I'm confident in him. I haven't seen him get better at striking yet. He's been out for a long time, and it's not like Charles Jourdain's like the easiest fight to come back to. Charles Jourdain, definitely good on the feet and respectable wrestling. I mean, again, I said Shane Burgos got on his back. Like, dude, you do not want Kron Gracie on your back. He will just face smash you and get that submission. Kron's tremendous. So super excited to watch this one. I'll be on the other side of you. You're so confident in Kron, and my friend Kevin is so confident in Charles. I'm right in the middle. I'm like, this is going to be a good fight.
Good shit. No, listen, I respect it. I think Kron Gracie, he's going to pull it off, man. The jiu-jitsu skill set's unmatched. And I think that if there's any one trick type pony, it's having the grappling base of Kron Gracie. And my opinion too, is it's the fact that in the in-betweens, Charles Jourdain leaves openings, in my opinion, to close the gap. And I think Kron Gracie against the cage is going to be a menace to Charles Jourdain. Like you said, Shane Burgos had the back grappling skill set of a fucking Kron Gracie. He gets the back, you're done. It's over.
Yes.
So
I mean, Kron Gracie's like a really bad matchup for certain styles of people. So, like, for instance, Islam Makhachev versus Kron Gracie in a submission grappling match. I think Kron Gracie chokes him unconscious. And I know people think so much of Islam Makhachev's submission grappling ability. And that's why I use that example. It's because that's how good Kron Gracie is. Kron Gracie is a finisher. Kron Gracie by submission is live in any fight.
Any fight. Agreed, Mike Finch. Let's go. Next fight on the card. It's a fucking dog scrap between top guys on the come up at featherweight. One specifically, it's Movsar Evloev versus Bryce Mitchell. I'm glad that they put this fight together. I just think the matchup is hard for Mitchell. He's clearly in a striking disadvantage. And now I don't see him taking Evloev down and bullying him. How's he going to beat him? I think he's going to lose a unanimous decision. I think Evloev's got tremendous stand-up. I've said in the past, early, when we broke down Evloev, and he hasn't fought in a while, but I remember saying he's a smooth striker then. And when you go back and watch tape, he is a smooth striker. He looks good on the feet. He's also got takedowns. I think he beats Bryce Mitchell by a unanimous decision here, bro. I'm going the Evloev side, bro. I'm going for the EV.
Pick him MMA. He's got Thug Nasty by sub. Wow, how did that go away? Wow.
Didn't see it.
Theo Von. Sorry, Dallas. Dallas. I got Theo Von by sub. I thought
Theo Von. Fair.
That's pretty funny. I call him Flat Earth. That's my that's where I go with the Bryce Mitchell thing.
Flat Earth.
Take it anywhere. What the Camo Man himself.
Yeah.
Terrible matchup for Bryce Mitchell, dude.
Yeah.
This is a terrible matchup for Bryce Mitchell. What is he going to do? Is he going to take Evloev down? I mean, that would be pretty fucking impressive. And then what is he going to do? Strike with him? I think he's cooked on the feet. I think he can't wrestle with him. I think this is like one of the worst matchups you could possibly give Bryce Mitchell, especially at this stage now that he got fucked up by Topuria, and you're going to come back against Evloev. Dude, I got Evloev all day.
All day Evloev. This is just not the matchup for Brycey boy. Minus 265 Evloev, Bryce at plus 225. Evloev probably gets it done by a clean decision, I think, but I'm not going to be propping it up. Just to mention it, though, it is minus 145. Hard to see him subbing Bryce. Hard to see him knocking out Bryce. Evloev has shown that he's happy to win decisions, and I'm kind of expecting a decision win here. Over 2.5 is actually the exact same as Evloev money line at minus 265. So Evloev, high confidence favorite pick, something that maybe, you'd add an extension to a parlay, but obviously not a good straight bet.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to go to a decision. I think money line's the best way to go with this one. I do think he'll try to knock him out. I mean, stylistically, he can't be too concerned with a Mitchell overhand right or something. I think Thug Nasty, probably starts to slow down as he's missing shots too. You saw that in the Topuria fight. He misses a couple shots. He gets a little desperate. Evloev's going to be just as hard to grapple with.
Yeah, let's go. Listen, we're going Evloev for the fucking win. Both of us. Let's get to the featured. Jessica Andrade versus Yan Xiaonan. Andrade back in the right weight class, Mike. This is essential. She wins this fight. She's on a short list. She's one of the best female fighters of all time. She lost her last fight, takes on Erin Blanchfield on very short notice, a week's notice, saves the card. And now they put her in, a top contender spot down a weight class, which is better for her anyways. I think that Andrade is going to outstrike Yan for most of the fight. Now, Yan's actually pretty good. She's fast, but she does not have the fucking power to keep Andrade off of her. I think that Andrade is going to be putting pressure on her with the boxing and ripping power strikes throughout. And even when they grapple, Andrade is going to be better on the floor. So Jessica Andrade should win. Might put the hammer on her and end up knocking her out. Never even count out Andrade by sub either. I have a feeling that Jan's got the toughness to go the full 3, but clean loss here. So give me Andrade, confident female pick.
There you go, man. Confident too. See, I'm not as confident. I think Jan is pretty seasoned, and you know what I don't like? I don't like seeing somebody quit. And I do think we saw a little bit of that against Blanchfield. Blanchfield obviously it's a weight class up. Blanchfield obviously was a short notice fight, but there are some fighters, most UFC fighters, I'd have to say, that you put them in there on an hour's notice. It don't matter. They're not going to quit. And what I saw from Andrade is her sort of try to win the fight. I'm not saying she threw the fight, but she's like trying to win the fight. And then when it wasn't working out, she's like, just take something. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
You don't want to see somebody break like that. So I am concerned seeing her break. And then, of course, she's a favorite in this fight still, but I'm seeing minus 200. Is that what you got?
I got -1, anywhere from 85 to minus 200. So
yeah, the odds aren't sweet enough for me to tell you lock this for you guys. But yeah, I'll go Andrade. I just the reason why I wouldn't bet on Andrade is I want mental toughness and the ability to weather a storm, and that's not what she just showed in her last fight.
Respect, man. Respect. I understand that, bro. I think that does she still? It's like the questions that are looming is it, I was not motivated because it's short notice? Is it an opponent that didn't get me excited? Or is it that at 31, Jessica Andrade, has had too many fights, is on the back burner? I'm going to believe in Andrade still to beat a Jan, but respect. It's a hard fight, man. I think good matchmaking. I just think Andrade hits a lot harder and he's got the grappling edge.
Yeah, she definitely hits a lot harder. That's for sure.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, Yan Xiaonan could try to kickbox her up a little bit and kind of defend takedowns. She's taller, right? How
Yeah,
tall is Yan Xiaonan? 5'5" to what is Andrade, like 4 feet tall.
yeah.
So and the Mackenzie Dern win was a big deal for Yan. The Marina Rodriguez fight was really close. I could see her trying to land from the outside and trying to win a decision here. So I think it'll be a
Yeah.
good fight. I almost want to pick the underdog, but no,
Respect.
I'll say Andrade. Andrade is better. Andrade should win. As far as betting on her,
No. Respect. Andrade for the win for Mike Finch and I both. As we get to the co-main event, we got Gilbert Burns versus Belal Muhammad going down in 5 rounds. Title implications. In my opinion, the winner of this fight is going to be the real number 1 contender because they fought through a ringer of hell to get back to the top. Muhammad, obviously, no contest with Leon. I'd love to see them fight again. Burns, obviously, has been there at the top of the weight class, gave hell to Khamzat Chimaev, lost. The only one that really in recent mind you can think of is him losing to the reigning champ at the time, dominant champ, Kamaru Usman. Gilbert Burns has looked like he's fucking evolved his whole game. So this was a tricky pick for me. I'm ultimately going to say I think Gilbert Burns is going to TKO him a little bit later in the fight. I think he can hurt him with his hands. He might even submit him. A gassed out Gilbert Burns, I don't think exists anymore. A gassed out Belal Muhammad, I don't think really exists either. But ultimately, I do have a concern because Belal is Mr. Gas Tank. But you're taking a 5-round fight on short notice, and word on the street is he's heavy right now, real heavy. So the weight cut might be a little more than he's usually used to. Does that slow him down a bit in 3, 4, and 5 and make him susceptible to getting caught with big punches? I think Gilbert Burns has the stopping power to do it. I'm going to pick Gilbert Burns to beat our guy, Belal. I love me some Belal underdogs, Mike Finch. And I know you love it too, because you've been the king of the Belal dogs for a long time.
Thank you.
But in this one, I'm going to go Gilbert Burns. And whatever my fate shall be, it shall.
I mean, how am I going to leave my Belal underdog picks now? I've made so much money off of them from the jump. Why would I stop? I think Gilbert Burns really fucked up making this a 5-round fight. I mean, why would he want this to be 5 rounds? Belal's best thing is that he's able to keep his pace and kind of get people a little slower. And when they get a little less dangerous, then he could just start picking away, taking them down, landing shots. And he even got Brady out of there, training with Team Dagestan in the last fight. He was training with Islam and Khabib and all those guys. So mentally, he just feels like he trains with better people and he shouldn't be losing to these guys. For those of you that don't know, I was mopping up the sweat off the mat from Belal Muhammad fucking, I don't know what, 6 years ago now when Belal was first starting in the UFC. Might even have been before his debut was the first time I had ever seen him. And I've rolled with him twice. I've grappled with Belal Muhammad twice. At UFC Gym Oak Lawn. And seeing him go through his whole career, I've just sort of always had a little inside info and known how he's trained. And I have always known he's a cardio machine. Now everybody else knows too. This guy is in the gym multiple workouts a day. Kevin Novacek, Mike Cannon, all the guys that have been pushing him super, super hard. Belal is a worker. Belal is a 5-round fighter. He's made for this shit. So when you sign up for a 5-round fight with Belal, you have to understand that his best rounds will be 3, 4, and 5. You're right. A big weight cut is not what I want to hear. Is that going to shake me from my pick? No. I do think Belal can edge Gilbert Burns on the feet. Doesn't mean Gilbert Burns can't drop him, but will Gilbert Burns finish him? That would be interesting to see. I do think the grappling of Belal is good enough at this point to avoid a submission loss to Gilbert Burns. And I could imagine him losing a round or something by getting clipped, but Belal's ability to recover is great because he's always in shape. And that's another thing to bring up, AJ, is that, you saying he's heavy is interesting, but him taking the fight on somewhat short notice, it doesn't concern me as much with the Belal because he's always training. From what I know from him, the dude has never been out of shape in the last decade, so I do believe Belal Muhammad can win 3 out of 5 rounds here in a really good fight with Gilbert Burns. Fucking big moment for him. Apparently, both of them are saying that Dana White told them behind closed doors, if you win this fight, you get a title shot. And that's what he's been waiting to hear, dude. Gilbert Burns, better at jiu-jitsu and has more power. Belal, maybe a higher output and good enough at wrestling to sort of stifle Gilbert. That's what I see happening here. Belal hitting Gilbert more with less power and defending the takedowns. Belal Muhammad, close decision.
Belal Muhammad, close decision. I respect Mike Finch's pick. It's definitely been one that I've flip-flopped and sat on for a while. And listen, Mike Finch, you're in Belal dog territory at plus 110. I think you're ready to play Belal Muhammad. I think you got to throw down for your boy. Now, Gilbert at minus 130 is not the most appetizing bet ever. This one, as a fan, I want to sit back and watch the action. Mike Finch, if I was on your side, I'd probably throw a little something down on Belal at plus money, but I'm not. I'm on Burns as a favorite, and he's against, a savage in Belal. Do I want to play it on fucking favorite status? Not really. I think there's a good chance we go over a round and a half at minus 465. Over a round, bro. We go over one.
I believe that's true.
Burns wins inside distance plus 100. Doesn't call my name. No, nothing's calling my name here. If I'm gonna bet this fight, I'd want to be betting on the Belal dog side. Ultimately, I picked the Burns side. I wanted to pick Belal, Mike Finch. It's not like I didn't want to. I'm like,
so why didn't you?
Mike, because I can't. I'm seeing Burns catching him. I'm worried about it. I'm seeing Burns hitting him over the top. It's just, something is just, I'm seeing the shot coming over. When I was watching Belal striking a bit with Sean Brady, he's looking great, but I'm like, dude, Burns a little bit different style, got a little more thud, is able to close that gap. I got to go Burns, dude. I got to go Burns. But, it pains me to not be picking Belal as a dog, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, I mean, Burns is even shorter than Sean Brady, though, so the reach being less. Burns used to be a 155-pound fighter. I do think there will be a little bit of a challenge with Belal not only being the higher output, slightly better cardio, but taller, longer. There are some obstacles.
1 inch height reach advantage.
What?
Yeah.
I've stood next to
5'11" to 5'10", 72, 71. So the reach not crazy.
Really? Hold up. Gilbert Burns, 5'10". Is he really 5'10"?
That's what it's listed. I mean, let's fucking check our little.
He's 5'8", bro. They're measuring to the top of that fucking gelled up hair, bro.
That's
yeah. Bilal's every bit of 5'11". Belal looks like a middleweight. I think when they face off, Bilal's going to have a little bit more height than that. That's like before I met Randy Couture. It always said Randy Couture 6'2". I met Randy. I'm like 5'10", 5'11". You meet Tito Ortiz, he looks like he's 6'4". You look at like Tito and Randy squaring off. Go look at that. Randy's obviously shorter. They're both listed at 6'2". So don't you trust those fucking heights. Hey, if you go watch my fights on YouTube, I'm listed at 6 feet tall. I think I'm 5'11".
Mike, you're 6 feet, Mike. What are you doing? Why are you saying that, bro? Don't bring yourself down. Right on the top of the gel, 6 foot, man. Little bit of shoes on or something.
As soon as I woke up in the morning, nice and stretched.
Yeah. Was it 6 feet? We'll give you the 6 foot, Mike Finch. Listen, Mike Finch going Muhammad. I'm going Burns. Ultimately, we got a great fight in the co-main event. Let's jump to the main event where history's on the line. It's Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. Cejudo coming out of retirement to challenge Aljo, obviously with a multiple step plan to lead him to potentially go by C4 if he's able to take out Volkanovski, which would be fucking crazy. He's got to get through Aljamain Sterling first, so we can't look far. My question is, Mike, can Aljamain Sterling take Cejudo down? I'm going to say no. I think that Henry Cejudo also has the best fight mind in the game. He's the Einstein of MMA at this point. Choosing to bring in Mighty Mouse and work with him and get more tools out of a former foe. Bringing in successful fucking fighters like Davison Figueiredo and winning them titles. And then you look at Davison Figueiredo without Henry Cejudo, he loses to Brandon Moreno. The MMA mind of Cejudo, I think, is fucking off the charts. And I believe if there's anybody who can come back from a long time off, it's somebody like Cejudo who was doing it forever. Since a child, he's wrestling. Gets the gold medal. Gets back in the fight. Now, really fucking back in the fire with the fight game. But this break could have been the best thing for him. It's like a nice reset. He relaxed a little bit. He lived, maybe a more chill life for a while to all bring it back to what he's best at. And I think he comes back remotivated, re-energized, and ready for a run. So give me Henry Cejudo to beat Aljamain Sterling and become the champion of the world, Mike Finch.
I was hanging out with Henry Cejudo last year at his house. I got to see what he was up to. He was kind of chilling. And so when he was initially announcing the Aljamain Sterling fight, I'm thinking, Henry, you better get in good shape. You know, like Chael Sonnen once said this, and I always think of it because I want to compete in grappling this year. And I think of this Chael Sonnen quote. He says, it's better to get in shape before you get in shape. Like there's a shape you should have before the camp. Like first you should already be lifting weights. You should already be running. You should already have this just baseline shape. Then you get in shape. And this fight being pushed a little bit, right, gave Henry more time to prepare. And I do think that shifted things over to the side of Henry Cejudo, because when somebody comes off of a 2-3 year layoff, you're concerned about how fast they'll step on the gas pedal, the energy management issue, the ability to when you're in season, everything's firing on all cylinders. When you're not, you could fatigue and you could have certain issues. So, Henry, getting the fight pushed a little bit, had a longer camp, sort of got in shape before the camp and got in shape. Now he looks lean. Like I look at the interview I did with Henry last year and look at what he looked like compared to now. He's got abs again, like I see the difference. So knowing that Henry Cejudo took this seriously, yes, I will pick C4 as well. To be C4 as well. C4. The triple C. The flyweight champ, the bantamweight champ, the Olympic champ.
Triple C the pick for you and me. We're going Cejudo, baby. Let's get it. Listen, Henry Cejudo and Aljo, the lines are all over the place. It's about pick'ems. I'm seeing Cejudo at -108 as a dog, and then -116. Aljo is the favorite. And then on the flip side, I'm seeing Cejudo at -115 and Aljo at -105. So ultimately, flip-flop between the lines. It's a pick'ems fight for good reason, because both these guys are tremendous. But I'm going to ride the side of Henry Cejudo. I've not laid down a bet on him just yet. I want to wait till weigh-ins, but if Henry Cejudo looks tremendous on the scales, it'd be hard for me not to be tempted to play a pay-per-view main event to ride that excitement into it. You know what I'm saying? Amp it up. Maybe not the best plus money, maybe not the most valuable bet, but enjoyment is definitely going to go through the roof if Henry then gets it done too, and we fucking nail the bet on him. So give me Henry Cejudo to pull this off. Mike Finch on the same side. You like props here at all? Like, I think it's one of those, you just money line it and chill if you are going to bet it. Maybe even just sit out.
No, the odds are nice. Nice. No, go ahead and just money line it, guys. When when you look at this fight, it's so obvious to me that Henry Cejudo is better. Henry Cejudo, his wrestling credentials aren't even close to the comparing them to Aljamain Sterling. I mean, wrestling-wise, the Olympic gold medalist should absolutely be able to defend the takedowns and hit takedowns of his own. Then you go into striking. Aljamain Sterling constantly off balance as he's striking people. He keeps his chin out there as he throws shots. Henry Cejudo puts people away. Ask TJ Dillashaw. Ask Dominic Cruz, who's still salty about that finish. Still shitting on the referee for that stoppage. Even though he was face down with his hands out. So Henry Cejudo jumps on people when he hurts them, man. Henry Cejudo has absolutely a capability to knock Aljamain Sterling out. Yeah. My, concern with the Henry pick is what happens in 3, 4, 5. What happens when Aljamain Sterling keeps putting pressure on him? Because if Aljamain has any advantage, it's like cardio, him being in season. Those are the things I'm looking at. So I think Henry Cejudo is a much better fighter, AJ. I think, if we're talking about that 125-pound Henry Cejudo, that newly 135-pound Henry Cejudo in season, he mops up Aljamain Sterling. I think he was a much better champion. Now that he's been out for a while, that's why this is a debate for me. That's why I could, I saw our guy MMA Jesus say, wrong, like Trump during a debate, wrong. I understand the Aljamain Sterling side here, but just for that reason. Aljamain's in season and Henry Cejudo's just coming back. But that's it. I mean, if Henry Cejudo looks sharp out there, he's going to fuck Aljamain Sterling up. He's a much better striker. He's a better wrestler.
He's the guy. And also Elmer Santiago, that guy with the 99 cents. Thank you for the super sticker, brother. We appreciate you. Listen, Mike, I'm glad we're on the same side for the main event. I think we got some tremendous picks this card, but it's time for us to lock it up. It's lock of the night time. Lock of the night for UFC 288. Mike Finch and I last week absolutely killed it on the same side of underdog Cody Durden. So I'm feeling tremendous. I'm also riding high with the Pavlovich dog the week before. Mike Finch got the glasses on, so I got to let him go first. He looks fucking excited. Holy shit.
You always let me go
Most
first.
of the time.
But,
Besides last week, because I knew we were on the same. We had to go at the same time.
That's true. That's true. And before I drop this lock of the night, I will confirm Donnie, is Finch going to be at the fight companion for the main event? Yes, I will be. I will jump on with AJ live when he's calling the main event between Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo.
I need to see him react to Cejudo, baby. I want to see what Mike Finch is up to. I want to see his antics. You know, is he going to freak out?
Should I lock Henry Cejudo just so it's,
I don't know. Listen, Mike, but pick the right pick for yourself. I'm not telling you lock Cejudo for the hype, bro. Listen.
All right. Well, I like two underdogs on this card, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and take the underdog lock here because I know you guys like that dog money. You know, when I look at these two underdogs, it's tough to pick which one. I think I'll personally sprinkle a little something on both. My one for lock of the night, I'll go out on a limb and say that Porky Porter's getting fucking slept by Braxton Smith, dude. I think AJ and I have identified a powerhouse who's going to get him out of there. And even if he doesn't, hopefully he hurts him enough and has good enough takedown defense to be able to grind it out. So Braxton Smith on his UFC debut, it's a wild lock, but I'm going for it. Braxton Smith knockout. You could just money line it because it's plus 155.
Dog money, Mike Finch. Listen, I like that energy. I love dog money. Dog money locks is what I'm shooting for. Mine is going to be Kron Gracie to bounce back with a win over Charles Jourdain. Underdog lock of the night is Kron Gracie, guys. Yeah, I'm crazy maybe, but no, I see it. I see him sneaking in something, a choke, really. I think he's going to get the back of Jourdain, and I think he's going to get his hand raised. We're all going to say, wow, that's the Gracie name, bro. The Gracie legacy lives on with Kron, and we need victory for the pockets too. You know what I'm saying? For the legacy, but also for us coming through with victory. So give me Kron Gracie underdog lock. Me and Mike Finch both going Dog City. Braxton Smith for him, Kron Gracie for me. It's time to talk about some parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. It's time to cash some tickets and make money for our people. Mike. What are you thinking? Where we at this week? What's the Mike Finch parlay?
I think that Evloev is going to smash Bryce Mitchell, bro. I think he's the better wrestler. I think he's the better striker. I think it's a terrible matchup for Bryce Mitchell. My most confident pick on the card, my real lock. I mean, I can't give it to you guys because it's a little wide. Evloev. Evloev is going to take this fight. I think decision's easy. It's possible that he finishes him. Just money line it. Evloev. One of my most confident pick without a close second. Then let me give you some dogs. I mean, I like Devin Clark. I think Devin Clark gets the wrestling going, wins this fight. I like Belal Muhammad. You know, I do think Belal Muhammad could grind with Gilbert Burns. So those three should be fat enough, although Marina Rodriguez is interesting as well. Sorry to throw all those names at you. How dare I even consider a 4-fight parlay, but I would consider at least piecing those together. Maybe the official parlay could be Evloev and Devin Clark. I mean, that would be like, you know, a very confident one for me. And then, you know, a secondary parlay, Marina Rodriguez and Belal. I like them both.
All right. Evloev, Devin Clark money is sitting at, just a moment, plus 265. If you had everybody else on the slate that you listed off, you got plus 1200 for that one right there, Mike Finch. So that's fucking chaos zone, savage zone. Listen, Mike, I'm with you. I like Evloev. I think that he could be a signature piece to the plays. I think there's a real good shot that he's getting the win. Now, when I want to add someone else to a parlay, I'm kind of thinking the same as you. I want to get a little plus money on my lineup. Am I crazy? And do I throw Kron Gracie in the lineup? Well, if I did, which I do think it's not a bad idea, Evloev Gracie plus 265, underdog lock with high confidence pick Evloev. Want to add a little bit more steam to it. I'm going to add in Mike Finch's underdog lock, Braxton Smith for plus 813, just for going nuts. And then, you know, you take Braxton out and you just keep the dog lock and you play it maybe, you know, a little bit on the quote unquote smarter side. Khaos Williams also has a real fair chance to win, which brings you to like plus 387. But you know what they say, bro? 2-3 fighters maximum for your highest likelihood of success. parlay with a dog and a high confidence favorite. Don't fucking go nuts trying to play 7 -400s because you think they're all going to win and then one of them loses. Value betting is the best way to do it. So that's why we're attacking the dogs, sniping out the plus money. And let's cash this weekend, Mike. And hopefully we have a blast together. I hope I fucking kill it with the picks with you, bro, because we got a lot of them the same side. And the ones we disagree on is like understandable disagreement, man.
Well, if we don't kill it, they're going to let us know, right? And you guys let us know when we do kill it. So I always appreciate the love. I will see you guys on Saturday.
Let's go,
I'll
Finch.
be watching the pay-per-view with you guys, and we'll have some fucking fun, dude. Looking forward to it.
Excited, bro. I think it'll be a lot of fun, bro. Mike, a pleasure as always to hang out with you, talk the fights. God bless you for doing your thing over at Bare Knuckle and bringing MMA media back to the forefront. Really, Bare Knuckle media, the first of its kind. You're a pioneer, bro. And I'm a pioneer of the fucking Bare Knuckle Fight Companions. That shit was crazy. 1,100 live viewers, 1,200.
Hell yeah. Love the interest, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just saw somebody say UFC is the only joy in their life. Well, listen, Bare Knuckle is also a lot of fun. Just ask Conor McGregor. It is super, super exciting to watch. So I hope you guys are tuning into those. They're back in 2 weeks, and maybe I'll be at the show. We'll keep you posted. I definitely enjoyed this breaking down this week's card, man. This is a fire card. Super excited to tune into this pay-per-view, top to bottom. Pretty damn good lineup. Every single fight on this card is competitive and a good one, and makes our jobs hard, but it'll make it fun to watch on Saturday, guys. I'll see you then.
Let's go, people. We love you. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you run the likes up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're closing in on 16,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Much love, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.